What if you could learn to speak clearly and confidently in any English conversation? You could make friends with people around the world and share your culture with them. Imagine if every time your boss, clients, or coworkers spoke to you in English, you could respond to them easily, professionally, and feel more like yourself. You could probably make more money and avoid feeling embarrassed. Wouldn't that be great? Well, maybe you're thinking, how is that possible? Well, I'm glad you asked. Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Are you ready to be a fluent English speaker this year? Maybe it's something that you've always dreamt of, but you've just been putting it off. Well, I have some good news. Today, I want to give you my top 10 tips for becoming a fluent English speaker. Some of these tips might surprise you. And like always, I have created a free PDF worksheet for you with all of these 10 tips, ideas, concepts, and strategies. Don't wait to become a fluent English speaker. Click the link below this video and download the free PDF worksheet today. I also have some exciting news. For the first time in several years, I'm releasing a new English course and you are invited. The 30-day speaking challenge will help you to speak real English clearly and confidently in only 15 minutes per day. With daily lessons and personalized feedback from American English teachers, you will be amazed at how your fluency improves and you can become a confident English speaker. But don't wait, this course begins on January 1st, 2023. So if you join before this date, you get a 40% discount. The total price for the 30-day speaking challenge is usually $99. But if you join before January 1st, the total price for you is $60. That's less than $2 per day, plus you get lifetime access to all of the lessons. So click on the link in the description to start speaking confidently and fluently in English and save 40%. All right, let's go on to how to become a fluent English speaker this year. Tip number 1 is to start where you are. What does this mean? Well, it means if you are a beginner English learner, start with beginner English material. Don't jump straight to watching Star Wars in English with no subtitles. It's good to start where you are. How can you know where you are? Well, I have some tips. Do a self-assessment. Think about how much you really use English on a daily basis. Do you read in English, write in English? Do you have English conversations? Do you listen to English? Do a self-assessment of how much you use English and how easy it is for you, or maybe how difficult it is for you. Another thing you need to do is to be honest with yourself about how much you're doing to improve your English. Are you super motivated and you spend an hour every day listening to English, writing down new words? Or are you extremely busy like a lot of people, and if you listen to some English songs on your way to work, well, that's as good as it gets for now. So I want you to be honest with yourself about how much effort you're willing to put in and your level at the moment. Tip number 2 for becoming fluent in English this year is to be realistic. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is no magic pill or magic wand that can make you fluent in English overnight. There are a lot of programs that promise total fluency in 30 days. But do you think that's realistic? Not exactly. But you can hugely improve your speaking skills in 30 days. Don't wait to start. Click on the link below this video to join the 30-day speaking challenge. Tip number 3 for becoming a fluent English speaker this year is to put in the work. If you want to become fluent in English, you need to put in the work. But what does this mean? Well, I'd like to give you a little quote to show you an example. It's hard if you work easy at it, but it's easy if you work hard at it. Have you ever seen someone who spoke English so smoothly and confidently, and you thought, how did they do that? Well, I bet that they put in the work. They put in hard work, and now it seems like it's easy. But if you just half do something, you just study a little here and a little there, you're not so motivated, well, it's gonna be hard work. So I recommend putting in the work. And the secret to working hard at something is our next tip. Tip number 4 for becoming a fluent English speaker this year is remember your why. This means, why did you decide to learn English in the first place? What is your motivation? For a lot of you, this might mean, I want to get a better job. I want to travel more easily. I want to communicate with my grandkids who speak English. This is your why. So when you are working hard, I want you to focus on, why am I doing this? Oh yes, it's because I want to get a better job, and you can stay more motivated. I recommend writing down your why on a piece of paper and keeping it taped to the wall or taped to your laptop or close to wherever you usually study English. This can help you have that little boost of motivation when you're feeling like this is hard work. Well, you know what? Look at that why and feel motivated. So now you're focused, you're motivated, but that alone isn't enough. You need to, number 5, create a habit. What do you do when you wake up every morning? Maybe you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you put on your clothes, maybe you brush your hair. These are all habits. You do them really without thinking. It doesn't feel like hard work because you know when you do them and you know the order that you do them in. So you need to make learning English a habit in your daily routine. Maybe a 30-day habit, like the 30-day speaking challenge. Maybe this habit looks like you listen to an English podcast while you're taking a shower, or you watch one of my YouTube videos while you drink your coffee in the morning. Good morning, by the way. Or maybe you like to watch the news in English every Sunday. This is a habit that you have that you can keep up consistently. Tip number 6 for becoming a fluent English speaker this year is a hard one. Record yourself speaking in English. Ugh, this is especially hard for a lot of people who don't like to hear their own voice, especially in English. But I have some tips for making this easier. First, let's look at why this can be valuable. So a lot of us feel uncomfortable hearing our voice speaking another language. It just doesn't feel like us. So you need to change that. You need to get more comfortable listening to your voice in English. So making a recording is a really easy way to do that because you don't even need to show this to anyone. I think this can really make a lot of English learners feel more comfortable. You can take your phone, make a voice memo in English talking about what you did that morning. This morning, I woke up at 6 o'clock. I took a shower and then I brushed my teeth, and then you can listen to that again and delete it. Okay, that's the first step. And after doing this a little bit every day, your voice will feel more comfortable in English to you because you'll have heard it more. And if you want to level this up, you can join the 30-day speaking challenge where you will record your voice every day answering our daily question. And you'll get daily personalized feedback from a professional American English teacher so that you can day by day improve your speaking skills. And that brings me to tip number 7. If you want to be a fluent English speaker, drumroll, you need to believe that you can become a fluent English speaker. There's a reason why this is tip number 7, not tip number 1, because at the beginning, it's easy to believe that it's possible. But the more that you learn something, the more you realize, I don't really know that much. And your belief in yourself can go down and down and down. So I recommend continually believing, I can do this. I know it's hard right now, but it is possible. And on those hard days, how can you fight back? How can you begin to reinforce that belief that you can become a fluent English speaker? Well, I have 2 tips. The first one is to check your self-talk. Can you guess what this word means? This is the words that you say about yourself in your head. If you mess up something, what are you saying to yourself in your head? Are you thinking, oh, I'm so dumb, why would I do that? Or are you saying, oh, that's frustrating, I'm gonna try it again? What is your self-talk? Is it negative or is it positive? And when it's negative, when you catch yourself saying, oh, I'll never learn English, that's very negative, then you need to check that self-talk and try to flip that and say something positive to yourself, because how you talk to yourself is really the key to your life. So you can say, okay, this is really hard. I'm going to try for one more week. Okay, great. You've given yourself a time period and you can do it. My second tip for maintaining a belief that you can become a fluent English speaker is, sometimes as you're studying, things just get stale. This means you've been doing the same thing again and again, and you get a little bored. So I recommend shaking things up and checking out some new resources. This might mean a new podcast. Maybe it means that you go to a local meetup where people are speaking in English, or maybe it means you join a course. Ooh, maybe for 30 days? Maybe with a 40% discount? And with lifetime access? The 30-day speaking challenge gives you a roadmap so that you know what the next step is and you can go step by step on your road towards fluency. And on your road towards fluency, you need to focus on number 8. My 8th tip for becoming a fluent English speaker this year is to power up your fluency by focusing on these 3 points. Pronunciation. How is your pronunciation? Is it clear enough that other people can understand? This really will boost your confidence when other people are not constantly asking, what did you say? Huh? When you can pronounce things clearly, oh, it makes you feel so good because the other person can understand. The second thing you need to focus on is linking words. For example, you might say, what do you mean linking words? What do you mean linking words? In American English, we often link together words, and this makes it tricky to understand fast English and to imitate that style of speaking. But when you have those tools in your toolbox to know which words are often linked together, well, you are on your way to becoming more confident in your listening skills and your speaking skills. The third thing you need to focus on is intonation. This is the song of English. You wouldn't want to speak with me like this, right? It's kind of robotic. Or maybe the intonation of your native language is very different from the song of English. So making sure you're focusing on the words that are emphasized, the sounds that are emphasized, this will help you to speak more clearly and for other people to understand you better. Now that we've talked about pronunciation, linking words, and intonation, it's time for my next tip, which is very serious. Are you ready? Tip number 9 for becoming a fluent English speaker this year is have fun! Maybe you weren't expecting that, but it is essential that you enjoy your journey because learning English is a journey, and if you're just waiting for the end result, well, you're not going to have a good time getting there. So I want to give you some tips to help you have fun while you're learning English. You can find your favorite childhood book and read it in English. This combines something unfamiliar, English, with something familiar, your favorite childhood book. I imagine you have some warm feelings when you think about that childhood book, so connecting those warm feelings with English is a beautiful marriage. Another way to have fun in English is to watch iconic movies in English. This is great because you'll learn grammar and vocabulary, but you'll also learn about culture as well. I want to recommend watching The Terminal with Tom Hanks. In this movie, Tom Hanks has to live in the airport. And you know what? He doesn't know much English, but he connects with people in the airport. He learns more English. He makes friends. It is a heartwarming movie, and I highly recommend it. So if you would like to watch this iconic movie in English, you will improve your English skills and also learn about American culture. That's fun. My third tip for having fun in English is to find an English podcast about a topic that you love. If that's sports, great. Find a sports podcast in English. There are so many. If you love a lot of different topics, I recommend the podcast Stuff You Should Know. There are topics all over the board, and they even have short episodes called Short Stuff that are about 15 minutes. They're easier to listen to because they are condensed, and it's great. Every topic you can imagine is there. I personally enjoy listening to them. All right, we're almost at the end of our list. The last tip, but certainly not the least, is number 10, the 10th way to become a fluent English speaker this year, and that is get started. People have the tendency to say, when I lose 10 pounds, then I'll wear that dress. When I finish my studies, then I'll exercise more. When I get a better job, then I'll study English. But this is very dangerous because life will always give you excuses in some way. So you need to push past that, look through the fog, and get started now. That's why you're watching this lesson, because something in you said, this year, I want to be a fluent English speaker. Listen to that voice. That voice is very important. And what about you? Are you ready to get started on your journey to English fluency? Well, thousands of motivated English learners from around the world trust the Speak English with Vanessa courses to help them become confident and fluent English speakers. I got this wonderful email from Ibrahim who said, after studying with our courses, his colleague said something amazing to him. What a sudden change in the way you speak English. You have improved a lot. You sound like an American. What a wonderful thing for a colleague to tell you. You have improved a lot. Amazing. And you too can improve a lot. The 30-day speaking challenge will help you to speak real English clearly and confidently in only 15 minutes per day. Vinicius said, without wasting a single day, I learned a lot and it was really fun. Remember tip number 9? Have fun? Yes. Well, with daily speaking lessons and personalized feedback from American English teachers, you will be amazed at how your English speaking skills will grow day by day. But remember, this course begins on January 1st, 2023. So if you join before this date, you can get a 40% discount. Usually this speaking challenge is $99, but if you join before January 1st, you can get a 40% discount. This means you pay a total price of $60. That's $2 per day of English lessons. What a deal! This also includes lifetime access, so you can always go back and review the lessons whenever you want. So click on the link in the description to start speaking real English confidently and save $40. I can't wait to see you in the course. Well, thank you so much for learning English with me this year and the next year and the next year. It is my pleasure to be your teacher. And I'll see you again next week for a new lesson here on this YouTube channel. Bye. But wait, do you want more? I recommend watching this video next, where you will learn 5 mistakes to avoid when you speak in English. Plus, at the end of this lesson, there's a little quiz to make sure that you avoid those mistakes when you speak. I'll see you there.